This video explains how to use GitHub Pages to make websites. GitHub Pages is part of GitHub. GitHub is the largest source code control system in the world. What a source code control system is, it's used by software developers to keep track of the code they write. It's a repository online so that when they're sharing their code with others, other people can check the code out, make changes to it, and then commit the code back to what's called a repository. So collections of code are called repositories. And that's what GitHub does. GitHub Pages uses that mechanism of checking out source code and checking it in to make web pages. To make a web page with GitHub Pages, first you have to create a GitHub account. You can see the account creation has already been done, and I can confirm that I'm logged in by going up here to the upper right corner and dropping down and seeing that I'm logged in with my GitHub username. So this is my GitHub repository where I can put my software. Now right now I don't have any repositories, so I just created my account. But I can create a repository. When I click on Create Repository, it gives me a prompt. My repository is going to be my GitHub username, and then I have to create a repository username. Now, remember, GitHub can be used for any software repositories, but when you're making web pages out of it, the repository has to have a special name. The special name has to be your GitHub username .github.io. So it must be exactly this to create a web repository. So I'll keep it public. I won't add these other things here, and I'll go ahead and create a repository by clicking on it. When I create a repository, it comes back in here and says that this is kind of the page that it comes to when the repository is created. And there's a lot of technical stuff on here that we'll bypass. And we'll go right here to where it says create a new file in our repository. And again, you can see the repository up here. It's the GitHub username / your GitHub username again, .github.io. That's the repository I'm in. And I'm going to go here and create a new file. When I click on this, I get a text editor where I can put in code. In this case, it'll be HTML code that I'll save in the GitHub repository. The GitHub repository, when it's named like it is up here, is actually a web server. So sometimes I'll say that you're saving it on the web server. Sometimes I'll say it's being saved in the repository, but they're the same thing. So here I've typed in some code like you might have learned at Khan Academy. Just some HTML code with the tags with the less than signs. And I type the code in. I need to name the file. Now the file that is going to be your main home page, by default on the internet, it's called index.html. So your main page is always called index.html, your home page. So I'll call it index.html. I'll type in the HTML code like you learn on Khan Academy, and I'll scroll down and I'll commit this new file. And committing is kind of like saving in most applications. So I'll go ahead and commit the file. And once I've committed the file, it shows me now that in my repository of vfaywolf.github.io, I have a file called index.html. Now, if I want to see that file, I can click on it. It'll open the file and show me its contents. If I want to edit it, there's the editing tool up here. So I've created a file like you might have created at Khan Academy, but now you've created it in your GitHub repository using GitHub Pages so that this page is live on the internet. And then, unlike the Khan Academy, which is actually also live on the internet, the Khan Academy restricts you to only using their images and not embedding any video or anything like that. Here at GitHub Pages, you can put up any images, you can embed video, you have control of your web server. So it's this that we're going to use to make our web pages. Now this web page has an image in it. Here's the image source, CSC106banner.jpg. So in order to have that image show up on the web page, we have to upload the image to our repository. So I'm going to go back to my repository by clicking up here on vfaywolf.github.io. And instead of creating a file, which is what we did last time, I'm going to upload a file and upload the banner image that I made in a program called Pixlr. So if I go to Upload Files and choose Your Files and choose my banner image, it says uploading one file here, and it shows you the file that was uploaded here. Then, the way the repositories work is once you have it, you have to commit it. So committing will save the image file into my repository. So I'll click on Commit Changes, and then it's going to show me my repository, now with two files. Index.html, which is the HTML file that we created using Create New File, and now my banner is here. Now to see what this looks like live on the web, I bring up a new browser tab and I go to the URL http vfaywolf.github.io. Now I could also have put at the end of this /index.html, but if I leave off the index.html on the web, the index.html is the default, so I could actually leave it off too. So I'll leave it on there for now. And if I hit enter, it shows me my web page live on the internet where anyone can see it. Here's the banner. The image source tag shows the banner of the image I brought up. And here's the code that I typed in using the HTML that I learned at Khan Academy. And this is live on the internet. So you can see here that you can do any kind of embedding images that you want. So this is my own image. I could put other images on my web page. I could embed YouTube videos. So it's a fully functional web server where you can put your own content up. Again, GitHub is used for much more than just being a web server. That's all we're talking about in this video. But if you go on and do software development, you will likely want to have your own GitHub repositories where the code you write is available for other people to check in and check out. You can also go and look through all of the millions of GitHub repositories that are open to the public where you can find source code that other people have written to do all kinds of things. So getting comfortable with GitHub is a good thing for software developers to do. But right now, get comfortable with using GitHub to do web pages and have fun making your web pages.